This is Louise for MMA Crazy, and we're here with Gunnar Nelson ahead of your fight at Rotterdam this Sunday. So how does it feel kind of being here in Rotterdam, and what did you think about coming all the way here?
I love Rotterdam, actually. I've never been to Holland before, and this city is awesome. I don't know how the weather is all the time, but right now it's beautiful, and the city is beautiful. I love I don't know if that's the ocean, or probably is. They have these like little ocean taxis, like boat taxis that I've been taking back and forth, and yeah, the vibe here is great.
So you're fighting Albert Tumenov on Sunday. What did you think about him as an opponent for you?
I think Albert is a great opponent. He's been doing really well. He's a promising fighter, you know. So I think he's a great test.
So he's had a lot of TKO finishes, and he's very dangerous in the first round. So how have you been preparing for somebody like him?
Well, I've been preparing for somebody like him my whole career, really. You know, I've been practicing for guys like this, and for any type of fighters, really. Yeah, he's a powerful striker. I would maybe be more of a grappler. I think so. People would put this down as maybe a grappler versus a striker matchup. So the obvious thing for me would be to take him down and work him on the ground. But yeah, I like to use all my tools and kind of take the fight, take my opportunities where they are, you know. So I'll be looking to use as many tools as I have in this fight.
And would you be prepared to stand and exchange with him?
Well, standing and exchanging is really never the plan. But standing is a different thing, and I welcome it, yeah.
So then how would you say that your styles will match up then?
It's hard to say. Well, I guess we'll see on Sunday how they really match up. But yeah, like I said, maybe he would be more of a striker and I would be more of a grappler on paper. But as I've said before, I believe everyone has their own kind of unique energy to them, and that's the real match. See how that comes together, you know.
So looking back at your last fight, obviously you had a tough fight against Damian Maia. What did you take away from that fight, and has any of that kind of changed the way you've prepared for this fight at all?
Yeah, when you lose, you take a lot from fights like that. You know, it was a tough fight, 3 rounds of him pretty much dominating the fight, and there's a lot to learn. You know, a lot of tactical mistakes I thought I did in this fight, and some technical as well. And you know, I take that into my training and move on. You know.
So have you made any specific changes at all in this camp?
Maybe the only big changes was we changed our fitness training a little bit. You know, we have a different setup now.
And obviously there's been a lot of controversy about Conor, about the whole UFC 200. So has that impacted your training camp at all?
Not really. He was over in Iceland when the whole commotion was going about, but it didn't really affect me, to be honest. Not in a bad way, anyway. I'm quite used to all the commotion around Conor at this stage.
I mean, what was your reaction to when he was pulled from that fight? Because obviously, like you said, he was in Iceland.
Yeah, I was quite surprised when I heard he was going to retire. And then I spoke to him, and he seemed fixed upon it, you know, that he was going to retire. But obviously, a lot of guys come back and fight, and I think that was always in his mind that he would at some point come back and have another fight. But yeah, I think, you know, I've said this now a few times. It was all about him feeling he didn't get the space to train, you know. I think that's the main reason for this.
And do you think that was fair, pulling him from the fight? What's your opinion on it?
I wouldn't really know the whole situation and how it went. I know this though, if Conor feels like he needs to train and needs to focus on his training, I believe that should be respected because this is why he's here. He's here to fight and to win fights. He lost his last fight against Diaz, and he was meant to fight him again at 200. And if he feels like he has to focus on his training first and foremost to win this fight, I think that should be respected.
So obviously we know that Conor obviously is one of your training partners. So what kind of role or impact did he have in your camp, in your training?
We trained for a week in Iceland. I haven't really trained that much with him after his last fight, but it's always great training with Conor. You know, we have a really good back and forth thing going on, and you know, we learn from each other and kind of bounce off each other. It seems to always help us reach the next level, you know.
And going back to your fight on Sunday, what kind of have you spotted any weaknesses maybe at all in Tumenovs' game that you're going to maybe look to capitalize on?
Yeah, there's weaknesses in everyone's game, you know, and I'd definitely be looking to capitalize on his weaknesses on Sunday.
What would you say your strengths then would be against him?
Yeah, I like to just focus on them and showcase whatever it is, you know, rather than talk about it, whether it's weaknesses or strengths. I think strengths can sometimes be obvious, and I could say the obvious, but that wouldn't be any fun, would it?
So how do you see the fight unfolding on Sunday?
I'm going in there to win. That's that.
Any preference about how you would maybe get that win?
Not really, no. No preference. Just I like to go in and finish fights. I don't like to leave it up to the judges, and I obviously don't like to lose. So I'm going in there to win.
Okay, well, we look forward to seeing it. Thank you very much. Take care. Thank you.